Okay guys, we're here in the lab real quick and I want to walk y'all through the SOLOmapper. I'm going to walk you through a little bit of what's in it and very quickly how to assemble it. When you get the SOLOmapper in the package, you're going to get a couple of packages. We give you a gimbal lock for a GoPro. That's complimentary from us for a purchase here. But you're also going to get a package of necessary items here. We'll have a couple of SD card adapters here. You're going to have your extensions for your legs, and you're going to have some screws. We've got another package here, kind of shows where you can see the screws. There'll be the screws for mounting the computer and an extra screw for mounting the gimbal itself. And we use these 50mm extensions. They're good for being able to put the Solo back in the case without the computer, but it'll still protect your camera and all your other equipment here. And you're going to have an HDMI adapter, and you're going to have a flash drive that's your configuration in your computer. Alright, also in the package, you're going to receive a gimbal, a 2-axis gimbal. This balances in the tilt and in the roll. And then you have the beauty plate. We have some upgraded balls here that we use since it's all a little bit, just a tad bit heavier than a GoPro. And you're going to get your computer. This is the companion computer. It mounts up underneath the helicopter. We'll show in a few moments, with the USB cable, and it has a connection straight into the Solo, to the gimbal. Alright, so let's talk about actually assembling it. Of course, before you assemble and mess with any drone, you want to take the propellers off to make sure you don't get hurt. We're always about safety around here. Prefer to keep our fingers. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the drone. Of course, it's off. We've got the battery in, but that's fine. It's off. We're going to put it upside down here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our companion computer and we're going to stick our USB up in the top of the center set of USB ports. And then we're going to take our flash drive and we're going to place it up underneath the USB. It's got a little bit of lip, gives a little bit of pressure, makes it nice and secure. And we've got our gimbal out here. We're going to go ahead, our gimbal cord, and we're going to plug it in. We're going to assume you've already taken off your GoPro here at this point. In your HDMI, if you look inside your Solo, you can see that the HDMI has got a zip tie under there. Don't break that zip tie. That's a good secure point for your HDMI. Now we want to take our HDMI adapter and we want to stick it into the computer as well. Now that we have all that plugged in, we would like to take the gimbal and we're going to stuff, you can see we have a little power piece here. We want all that to go inside the Solo here. And then you can see that the HDMI has this ferrite ring built in it for interference. We want to actually pull it out, all the way out. And you can see on our gimbal mount, on our beauty plate, we have a little bit of a notch there. And we can see we already have our 3 screws should be in there. There's M3 by 12mm screws. Alright, so we're going to take this and we're going to place that Again, bring your ferrite ring up over the beauty hole in your cord and pull those through the notch. We make sure that our beauty plate, make sure all our tabs are inside, and we just snap it into place. We're going to take a 2mm hex to screw down our screws. You really should only need 2 tools to do this: a 2mm hex Allen wrench or hex drive and a 1.5mm Allen wrench or hex drive. And we're going to secure all 3 screws of the gimbal. This should all come pre-configured and pre-tested so that you shouldn't have to make adjustments to the gimbal. But if so, at the servo points, there's 1.5mm set screws where you can make some adjustments. We're going to pull the wires through. We have a zip tie here as kind of a guide. And then we're going to set our companion computer. We're just going to put 2 screws in it real quick, but there's actually 4 screws that come in the package. And these are 12mm M2 screws. And they're going to use a 1.5mm hex or Allen wrench. And you'll see the mounting holes, and they'll just go right in. And this will mount on the accessory bay of the SOLOmapper, of the 3DR Solo. It doesn't take very long to do this. You have to pardon me, I'm a little stopped up. One of the things I'd like to also show on the gimbal is you can see that we have it upside down here. We actually have a good D-ring set screw intended for tripod mounts and camera mounts. We're going to take our HDMI and we're going to plug it in, and then you're going to see we have 2 servo leads. One is slightly longer than the other. They're actually the same length, but because of the way they sit on the gimbal, you'll have one that's just slightly out from the other. The longest one is our roll servo, and the shortest one is our pitch servo. And so what we're going to do is on the back of the companion computer here, you can see that we have a couple of servo connections right here. And what we need to do is take the longer one first, and it goes right over here all the way to the right hand side when you're facing it from this direction, and place those with the brown, which is the negative pin, your power pin, and then your signal pin. And we'll do the same thing with the pitch servo, and again brown, red, yellow, and that's it. We're connected with the mapper. All we have left now is to mount the camera, which is very nice. You see we have brand new Sony QX1 that comes with the package if you purchase a package of the camera, or you can use your own QX1. And you just set the camera here, screw in the tripod mount, and you're ready to go test out the system. We'll have other videos of how to actually turn on the system and use the system. Thank you and have a wonderful day.